Well, back at it again. It is about 23 degrees and around 8 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get a super early start today. Yesterday was pretty miserable, but I got my dirt moved, except for the last load didn't get dumped where I wanted it, and the last load that I loaded is still in the trailer because couldn't get any traction. So this morning my water was down to 56 degrees on my loop. I had this loop going all night to keep the pipe from freezing in the fire barrel. So it was at a 96 degrees when I went to bed last night. So it dropped pretty good overnight, but it was still, plenty warm to keep everything from freezing. My water spigot worked fine this morning. Of course, I had the towel on it. It's supposed to get up to 40 today Fahrenheit, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to with all this snow around. We'll see if the snow melts off quick. It all depends on if our sun comes out today. So this morning, I would like to work on the well. I still have 2.5 feet deeper I need to dig in that section. You can see that ground temperature was warmer down there, melted all the snow. I might come in here and see how slick it is. You gotta watch it with these excavators on the tracks. If you get in too slick of mud on too steep of an angle, you're going for a ride and you don't have any control over it. I sure don't want to slide off all the way in the bottom of that thing. I might not be able to get it back out. I might break something on it. I'll try to scratch. I don't know how slick this. It doesn't feel real slick. I'll probably still reach in there with the bucket and pull out that top little layer that's got the moisture in it, just to be on the safe side. Now the pond's not frozen. Probably because it was about 75 degrees the day before we got this cold front come in. We'll see if the quail come this morning. They come every morning around 9:30, 10. We'll see if they come this morning. Looks like I'm starting to have a little bit of a cave-in issue. Got some water down there. See the water down there, that groundwater? Maybe over time the water will start wicking better. I don't know. I need to get my gravel in and get this thing backfilled on this side. It's a pretty deep hole. I want to use those spoils up because that's in the middle of our creek that feeds the pond. So the next rain, a lot of that's going to end up in the pond if I don't get it moved. I also need to move that pile of topsoil, and I'd like to go ahead and dig out that other little section right there and finish putting the rock there, and then put my little check levee right there at the end on the outgoing side. So I guess I'm going to try to work on the well this morning. Get in there and pull that stuff out and change back to the frost ripper. I'd say the machine's probably warmed up. This is a really old allthorn tree. It's probably about, let's say, 10 feet tall. You can see a little bird's nest right there. That's what I was saying, that the birds like to nest in these because it makes it hard for the predators to get to them. Oh, it looks like it's got some little berries on it. Right there. It's supposed to have little red berries. I've never seen them. Yeah, it's not focusing on them. Maybe that's the berries. Maybe that's why I've never seen them. They're tiny. That would make sense. I think I decided to use this rock. This is a big old rock. It's I don't know, probably 4.5 foot end to end, and at least 3 foot across. I'm gonna mount that old-fashioned cast iron pitcher pump to it. I'll core a hole all the way through it. I've got an 18-inch long, 2.5-inch coring bit, and that'll be where you come to pump your water manually. I think it'll look pretty cool. I'm gonna put it probably 15 feet away from the well over there. Yeah, so yesterday I came flying up here because I was already having problems with traction. The truck got about right in here, and then the front end just slid over on me. I had this little berm here, probably keep me from going off, hopefully, but I wasn't gonna chance it, so I just ended up back, dumping that load right there where the dump trailer was sitting. I pulled it over to here. Right here is gonna have a big check levee, kind of a berm, a dike, if you'd say, or a dam. So that water is going to come running down the side of the road here in my ditch. That would be on this side because it's shedding the water off the side of the mountain here. Run down here, and then it'll pond in here. And then once it builds up high enough, it'll overflow and dump into this ditch and run down this side of the road, following that bar ditch, and then dump in that little creek that runs through there, and then back into the pond. I think it'll work good. That'll keep the water from, because right here the water will shed off the road and drop into the ditch, and then right in here this water will run down, whatever water hits directly on the road right here, and then run down, and then that's going to taper that way, so that water will run off instead of run down the road. But if I didn't have this little ponding area for the water, it would just cut a groove 3 foot deep across the road. I try to make it so it's, less maintenance as possible. Maybe every couple years I just bring the machine and back drag it and get the washboard out of it. So here's where I made it on the road yesterday. Pretty good distance. Still got a little bit more to go before I'm to the old road. There's that yucca. So yeah, right here, right after that yucca, I'm gonna start turning. I'm probably not gonna be able to see. This is it's a little steeper right there, and then it kind of flattens out a little bit. I'm trying to just make the road connect to the other one for now. I can always come back and add some spoils in to bring this up, to take more of the steepness out of the road over there. But for now, I'm just trying to make it there. It's, even if I don't have enough time to build it all the way up, if I can make it close to it, I can just dive it down and then meet that road and keep going. But this is the section that's dangerous with the trailer when it's loaded. You feel it tries to push the back end of the truck around on you if you try to brake, and that's not a good feeling. I'll give you a little panoramic of the snowy desert, snowy Chihuahuan desert. Well, I guess that's it for rambling this morning. I will shoot when I get done with the bottom of the well, which is probably gonna take me 5-6 hours, as that ground is just, it's rock. It's fractured rock, but it's rock. And I'll probably have to change between the frost ripper and the bucket 3 times to get it down to where I need it. And I'll show you the bottom of it and how it's looking. See you on the next one.